Here's a couple of AWA sets. The one on the right is a model 262 from 1937, and the one on the left is the 1938. I guess you could say it's the equivalent in style, but it's vastly different in its operation. This one is a 264 and has motorized tuning, and so you press a button and a little motor sends the needle off on its journey to the station.
And we are in a downward spiral.
We don't have very good reception where I am. I'm quite far away from the from the city, so
Commodities has the potential.
It's got a decent output for a single-ended radio. This one here has push-pull 6L6. And this one, I think it's either 6F6 or probably just a single 6V6. It's been that long. I used to know every single detail about my sets, but I just can't remember them all anymore. So anyway, the purpose of the video is to show you these two fairly rare sets that, there are a few around, but not many. And these are some of AWA's thumpers. I did have the model 281, which is bigger again, and that features 13 or 14 valves, whichever, for those of you who count the magic eye. This one's 12 valves. This one, I think, is 9. And I have a 10 valve version of this, which is more slender and better proportioned, I would argue. It's model 257, which I'll show you now. This is a model or cabinet for the model 257, and unfortunately the 37 series of consoles featured this, which is upside down at the moment, featured this escutcheon here, which had a bar, and invariably they always break. Unfortunately, that's just the because it's so fragile. It's only a very thin flat bar, so I might have to 3D print something to put there instead, unless somebody's got a cache of these or somebody's willing to reproduce them. But this set here features 10 valves, I believe, and here's the chassis. I pulled the chassis out just to show you how sneaky they were. A couple of 6H6s. They're not a very involved valve. I think they're just a diode or a couple of diodes in, to make up the valve count, because more valves sells radios. But this is that set there, which is virtually the same as the 262, except it's only a single-ended 6L6 and the other one's push-pull. But every other part of the circuit's the same. Obviously a bigger transformer, it's got more valves than the other one. But the dial's identical, as with most of them from this year. And the magic eye sits at the front there. Back here now, and I'll give you a listen to the 262. It's been recapped, and the 264. Now the difference between the two is, a year is marginal, but one thing I have noticed, being in regional Victoria, that the radio station I'm accustomed to listening to, Magic 693 or now Magic 1278, doesn't really reach us where we are, except on this radio it beams through beautifully. Well, normally it does. Well, that's not it. Unfortunately, we've got a bit of a hiss from something, I don't know what. But this thing is shaking the house. The camera won't do it any justice. And you don't really have to try. You don't have to try. That's not even distorting. It probably will be through the camera.
It's Melbourne's magic with you.
Download the app now.
Yeah, if it weren't for that silly whistle that goes through every radio in the house, I don't know, but, well, maybe one of you technicians out there will understand, or maybe give me some pointers as to what that could be. All right, I'll give you a listen to this one. And normally 3AW works on this, but you know what? Today it's decided not to. Let's see if it works now. I'll take this one off of 3AW so that it doesn't interfere. And here we go. This is the difference in signal. Aside from the hiss, you hear the difference in. So this radio is far better at picking out weak signals than this one is here, which is really cool, because I think that where once this was my daily, this might be the daily radio